I feel like something that's really interesting with like straight women and like lesbian women is that I feel like guys' taste in women often are so based on like you need to be slim thick and you need to be really skinny so he can feel some like level of like dominance or control or power over that person. But I feel like women aren't allowed to come into their own basically, like if they're in a straight relationship for the most part, because what guys want isn't very complex or layered most of the time. Like, it's very, like, guys will fuck a chicken sandwich, like, we know that. And so it's very specific, but it doesn't really have a lot to do with like personality per se. Whereas, like, it seems like many guys just don't like women in general. They just want to impress other guys and they want to use women as sort of a status symbol. And so anything that's like woman like isn't something they want to spend time with. They want her to do those things so she looks a certain way, but they don't want to actually learn about it or spend time with it. They think it's embarrassing because if it's something feminine, they're not really taught how to be men or how to be like masculine. They're just taught how to not be feminine. But I feel like with women who are lesbian, like women usually like women, and so they're allowed to develop their personalities more and not have the same level of like control and um not be pushed into a certain box the same way. So like they can have these layered complex not just personalities but like how they look, like their attractiveness, I feel like is more natural and real and like true to them, because it seems like with straight women, like trying to impress a guy, and especially if you're raised in like a religious household or something, like you're taught to be an object of desire for a guy, but you're not taught like how to desire yourself. Like you're not taught, like you're not putting yourself at the forefront of like, well, what do I want to look like? What do I like? Um, and so it like you have this distance from your own sexuality and from your body. Like you feel like almost disconnected from it because it's just something that was never made like the forefront unless it was for somebody else. But I feel like if you're a lesbian, you're able to like sort of break those bounds and be in a more like accepting community when it comes to like looks and stuff. Like I know someone who is kind of like sworn off men, and she's just glowing. Like she's so much more alive than I feel like she used to be, because she really just has moved those like standards, like that you're supposed to look a certain way and act a certain way for a guy and blah 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 blah. She's just sort of thrown those out. So everything she does is like for herself and her own well-being and her own like joy, and it really shows, and it's so amazing to see that.